So welcome to the webinar, everybody. My name is Chuck Anderson, and this presentation is called Fill Your Coaching Business with Ease and How to Avoid the 3 Biggest Mistakes that even smart coaches make that keeps them struggling to get new clients in their business. And how many of you would love to have a waiting list of clients that are just waiting to work with you? And your practice is so full that you literally have to have a waiting list for people to sign up with you. Okay? And how many of you would like to earn over a 6-figure income in your coaching business so that you don't have to do this part-time and you don't have to have a job anymore? Okay? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you are definitely in the right place, because the system and the information that I'm going to share with you during this webinar will help you to do that. 3 years ago, I conducted a weird sign-up test with my coaching business that really shocked me, and I got to admit that I was very unprepared for the results. The results were not what I was expecting whatsoever. Okay? And the reason I call it a weird sign-up test. Okay, so what's so weird about it? Well, what's weird about it is, for the longest time, I was doing what coaches do. I was signing clients up in the traditional way, the way that people are taught when they go through coach certification programs or they learn sales techniques and that sort of thing. But for now, let's understand, let's be on the same page, that the practice of signing up a new client begins with a free coaching session. Okay? So in method A of this test, I offered 25 free coaching sessions. And at the end of those sessions, once we had a great conversation and it felt like everything was clicking, and it was sort of the natural next question that the person on the call would have is, how much does it cost to continue to work with you? And so then I would go through about a 5 or 10 minute presentation of how my coaching services worked, how the pricing worked, and would they like to sign up for the program? And so I call this a sales pitch. Basically, it was a sales presentation at the end of a session to let people know how they could continue to work with me for a fee. This method, for these 25 sessions, produced a total of $8,400 in fees. Okay? And so that was our earnings for those 25 sessions. Okay? So what I mentioned was 3 years ago, I had an idea. And this idea came because I was having conversations with people and with peers and associates and other coaches and consultants. And the common message that I hear from coaches is they don't like to sell, right? They don't want to come across as being too salesy or too pushy or selling their services too hard, right? On the flip side of that, if they don't sell enough, then they have trouble eating. And so many coaches, very smart and passionate coaches I know, are still working a full-time job, and they're only doing coaching part-time because they just simply can't get enough clients to live full-time, right? Where this method that I'm going to show you now, method B, is so powerful that not only did it increase our income, but we're now in a situation where I've had to create a waiting list for services, okay? And we've been able to charge increasingly higher fees for the coaching. Same coaching program, higher fees, more revenue, all of that. And here's how it worked, okay? So again, we take 25 more sessions. So as soon as I came up with this new method, I tested it out and I wanted to have a good comparison. So I looked at the first 25 sessions that I did with this new style of coaching, okay? The free coaching session, that is. And at the end of that session, there was no sales pitch at all. None whatsoever. In fact, all I did was simply invite the person I was talking to. We had a great conversation. It sounded like we should talk again. And I said, look, I've got some great information about what you want, and I'm going to customize a game plan for you. And let's talk again in a few days or a week from now, and we'll get back on the call, and I'm going to take you through it. Okay, so there was no sales pitch whatsoever. That's all I said was, I'd like to have another conversation with you. Very simple, right? So anyone can do that. Anyone can say, look, I'd like to have a second call with you. This is easy, to simply invite the person on the other end of the line to attend a second session with you, also free. I tried this out. I really didn't know how well it would work. I kind of pieced it together from, about a half a dozen other coaches that were describing sales processes, but also still struggling with sales, right? And so nobody likes to sell. And I was even working with a coaching team at that time where you even mentioned the word sales or selling, and they would run so fast in the other direction. They were so passionate about coaching, they would have spent all day long coaching. But sadly, because they had this mind block about selling, their programs remained empty. Okay? And so I really wanted to have a solution for that. And so I tried this out. So at the end of these sessions, there was no sales pitch at all. Okay? The net result of that was $31,960 in coaching fees generated from 25 coaching sessions. That's 4 times the amount that Method A produces. Okay? So let me ask you, if you're a coach, consultant, holistic practitioner, or anyone who does either one-on-one session work or group coaching work, which method would you rather use? Method A or Method B? Okay? So I think it's fairly obvious that Method B outperforms Method A. Not only that, but it has a huge benefit that's going to be of interest to you and people just like you and other coaches and consultants and holistic practitioners that also have this idea of, look, I'm a passionate, heart-centered, coach and holistic practitioner. I'm not a salesperson, And there's this belief that, selling is a negative thing. And so when you look at this, 4 times the amount of coaching revenue for 25 sessions, plus no selling during the sessions at all. In fact, you don't even have to sell during the second session. And when I think back over the last 3 years of my coaching practice, I have not had to deliver a single sales presentation. I've completely eliminated that from my business. It has simplified. And my coaching revenue has gone up, my effectiveness has gone up, and I've been able to help not only my own business, but other businesses as well. So let's get more in depth into this. Let me show you how this works.